I'm Devin Herenda, and this is myBurbank. This is Devin Herenda with myBurbank at the Roadking's Rolling Car Show. Okay, Don, how many years have you been with the Roadking?
35 years.
And tell me about the Rolling Car Show event this year.
Well, this year, this is actually Rolling Car Show 2021, because we did it last year twice, and we just want to give back to the community by showing the cars through Burbank, going to each individual fire stations and thanking our first responders and the Burbank Police Department. They've had their hands full lately, but they're none better.
This car is a true Burbank car. My parents bought it right after they got married in 1965 from Community Chevrolet. My dad and I spent 5 years restoring it. It's a matching numbers car. It's got over 400,000 miles on it, and it's a true Burbank resident car.
Yeah, he looks familiar. Yeah, I was a sign out there for something.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your history with the Roadking.
Our history is back in around '86. One of my buddies came over and said, "Hey man, you want to start the Roadkings back up?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be kind of different. I used to be a Burbank drifter when I was a kid, and so I kind of am into cars forever." So in 1984, I got together with 3 other men. Don Key, Mike Walsh, and Glenn Hooker, and myself. And we started the club back up. We went and bought jackets. We had 4 jackets. And before you know it, we started hanging out. Actually, our first hangout was the Burbank Fire Department. But that didn't work out, so we went over to the Hound Dog in Sun Valley, and we started having our meetings there, and it just started to grow, and before you know it, we had like 28 members. Beside the original members who were Don the Snake Perdone, TV Tommy Ivo, many famous, Fast Jack Beckman. So we got a lot of famous people in our car club.
And how does it feel to be here and see the car show today?
This is great. To support our city is pretty damn nice, and to have over 100 cars and bikes, it was pretty cool. I'm sure they appreciate us.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite car here?
Well, my favorite car is not here. My favorite car is my 50 Merc. Well, I broke the tranny last week, so this is the car I've had for over 50 years. It's a 50 Ford.
Bruce, how many years have you been with Roadking?
I've been with the Roadkings. I've been helping them since about 2006, but became an official member in 15.
And tell me about the Rolling Car Show event this year, how it all came together.
Well, last year we had a rolling car show simply because of COVID and that, and we were trying to think about different facilities to go by and tour that's throughout Burbank. And we kept coming back, and we finally decided to do the fire department because the fire department and the police department in Burbank is so awesome. They're just overwhelmingly great service, and we thought it'd be a great idea to just go through and hit all the different areas within Burbank and take in the fire stations.
And what has their service meant to you guys, especially during all we've been through with COVID?
Well, even before COVID, I remember, because I went to William McKinley Elementary School, I'll never forget the fire department put on a presentation there. And then back in the day, I used to be a paper boy for the Burbank Daily Review for the newspaper. And I used to deliver to Fire Station 5, which was across the street from Genio's, which is now the Social Security office. And just being able to play basketball with those guys and deliver the newspaper and play horse and that. And then when you get older, and that is, I moved out of Burbank where my parents still lived in there. And there was many a times where my parents, because they were elderly, had to call the fire department, and they're there within seconds. Just within seconds, and just the kindness and the appreciation. My mom also had issues to where she had to use the police services and they're always right there. They go up and beyond.
Bruce, tell me a little bit about your car, about the engine.
Well, this is a 1971 El Camino SS. It's a real SS simply because it has a 454 engine. Now, 454 means 454 cubic inches. So it has 425 horsepower, and it's put on a dynamometer. That's where you put it on an engine stand and electronically check all the stats of the engine. And it has 432 pounds of torque, which is more than like a Dodge Viper.
What condition was it in when you got it?
That's a good question. So the car, when I got it, it had the wrong engine in it. This is a matching numbers. And what that means is that General Motors will punch in, all the big manufacturers, whether it's Ford or Chrysler, will punch in the number or the VIN number into the engine block, and then also matches the engine dashboard. This is a matching numbers engine. And when I bought it, it had the wrong engine in it, but the original engine was in somebody's garage.
Well, it's great. Looks great. Looks ready for a joyride.
It will definitely do a joyride.
We've hit all the fire stations, and now we're enjoying lunch with Road Kings at the Elks Lodge. Little is known about the Bob's that was on Glen Oaks. If you look at the building though, it still has the same classic Bob's Big Boy style. It's now home to the Hill Street Cafe. We're at location number 2 at the 600 block of South San Fernando. This was the first Bob's built outside of Glendale, and it was remodeled several times before closing in the late 80s. This location on Riverside Drive is the oldest Bob's Big Boy in the country. It was built in 1949, and even though it's had some remodeling over the years, it largely has the same look and feel it did over 70 years ago.
While no homecoming celebrations were planned for pre-game ceremonies, there was, instead, senior recognition of players from both Burbank and Burroughs. Players met their families on the field, pictures were taken, and all anticipated a hard-fought game ahead. Although for the past 71 years the Burbank-Burroughs big game has been played in the fall, COVID-19 may have postponed the game, but it did not stop it. These games have been played since 1949, with Burroughs holding a 43-28 lead in the series. In the last game played in 2019, Burroughs won a thriller 29-28. Because of the COVID-19 protocols, fans were limited at the game, but they still were enthusiastic. After all the pregame festivities were concluded, both teams took the field in anticipation of what was going to be a hard-fought game. The referees were ready and the captains met. Big game number 72 was ready to start. Both teams fought hard in the first half, going back and forth, and Burroughs went into halftime leading 7-0. Because of restrictions, the bands were unable to provide their usual halftime entertainment, so the cheerleaders from both schools took on the challenge and provided the fans with some great routines as the teams got ready for second half action. Of course, every game has two halves, and Burbank came out focused in the second half.